Sweet! Hey everybody, how is it going? We finally did it. We finally hit 200 subs. It was a long journey, but we're finally there. That being said, it's not over yet. We're still gonna keep going all the way to the top. However, I couldn't have made it without you guys, so I just want to say thank you so much for your support. You've helped me a lot along the way. So in today's sub video of 200, I'm going to be answering your questions in my tobromancer Ask Me Anything. Let's get started. Alright, so today's first question comes from Misardor Tulanganov. I'm really sorry, I hope I got that right, dude. Nobody can pronounce my last name either. His question was, hi, I don't know what I just saw, but I really liked it. What form of power is this? Now this is coming from my video, What If Virgil Had Won? And what form of power is this? The form of power is green screen. A lot of work went into that video, especially since like 99% of it was green screen. I had to do a lot of work myself. And the way I did this is just using pieces of green fabric against my wall, lighting them as best I could, and then getting assets. I actually used a lot of The Sims 4 for this. Otherwise I wouldn't have been able to make half of those scenes. Do your best to compose the shot and kind of just tint the color of the character that you're green screening out to best make him look like he's in the scene. Now I don't know what happened when I actually put the video on YouTube, but on my computer it looked a lot better. I feel like the characters on that feel like they popped out, like they didn't really belong there, simply because I don't know what YouTube did. It took away like a level of shading or something when I did it, so that they really don't look like they are actually in the scene, but I swear on my computer it looks a lot better. Alright, next question. This comes from Knight Rider. My question is, what type of music are you into, and what's your favorite DMC soundtrack? To answer the first part of that question, I don't really have a genre that I listen to. I'm really into soundtracks in general. That's what I listen to like in my own time, or even when I go to the gym or something like that, or when I'm running when I work for Beach Patrol, I'll listen to the Devil May Cry soundtrack, Devil Trigger, I'll run to that. Other things I do is Initial D, a lot of video game music really. I'll listen to like the Doom soundtrack from 2016, the Doom Eternal soundtrack, also really good. A lot of high energy stuff. That's not to say I'm gonna listen to movie soundtracks as well, there's a few of those. I like the Inception soundtrack. I'm probably missing something, but soundtracks in the genre itself, probably the most listened to music that I do. Oh, there's actually a YouTuber that I listen to quite frequently called Astrophysicist. At least I think that's what her name is. She takes a lot of songs from animes and pop culture songs, and she'll make them very 80s. She'll put like a layer of 80s over it, and I absolutely love it. I'm always listening to her music. Really good stuff. Second part of that question was your favorite DMC soundtracks? Everything from DMC5 was just out of water. I love Devil Trigger. I like Subhuman. Crimson Cloud isn't bad. I like all the 3 protagonist battle songs. I really liked Fade to Tone, which is the boss fights that you fight when you're V. When you fight all 3 bosses that you've already previously defeated and you're getting back your familiars. I love Faded Tone. That's a crazy cool soundtrack for me. What else is there? I like almost every rendition of Locked and Loaded from the DMC franchise. Just pick one, I'll listen to it. The boss music is very good. Silver Bullet, the song you hear when you fight Virgil, really good. Even the orchestra stuff from that game, I love it. I don't think there's a single soundtrack that I wouldn't listen to at least once on there. So I hope that answers your question. Thanks a lot. Next question. This one's coming from Hollow Man. This is a 2-parter. How or when did you first come across the Devil May Cry series? I I'd have to say Devil May Cry 2 was definitely out because I saw that and I looked at the back of the box and someone had mentioned it prior to that. I know I was in high school when I first saw it. I think Devil May Cry 3 might have been out. I'm not 100% sure on that. But the order in which I played them was, I think I saw part of 3, which intrigued me a lot. I was at one of my friends' houses and they were playing the beginning of the game, which is cinematically gorgeous and I absolutely love it. But I played 1 first, thought it was awesome, played 3, finally got around to playing 2, and then 4, waited a bazillion years for the reboot to come out, hated the reboot when it first came out, then slowly realized that this is all we were gonna have, so I kind of got into it. I actually cosplayed New Dante a couple of times, and then Devil May Cry 5. Still looking forward to Devil May Cry 6 though. One thing I'll tell you though, along with New Dante, I hated him at first, and you kind of just like grow to have to deal with him. That wasn't the case for Devil May Cry 4. I absolutely hated Nero. I thought he was such an asshole, and he was just like a knockoff Dante, which really pissed me off. But as soon as I saw Devil May Cry 5 trailer, I absolutely fell in love with Nero. He was such a cool badass. He had finally obtained his own style. You know, he didn't have the Dante shaggy hair. He was actually his own character now, and I absolutely love the new Nero. In fact, that's not true. Dante's still my favorite character. Nero's a hot second though. And the second part of your question was, not really a question, it just says, congrats man, see you at 10,000. We're a long way from there, but I'll see you there. Next question. This one comes from KVB110. Dude, you were gone way too long. Yeah, he probably just posted on this when I was taking my hiatus in New Jersey. I didn't realize this when I made the other video. I said I was gone for 3 months. I was gone for 5 months before I posted another video. I really left you guys hanging, but it was really tough this summer. I went down there with almost no money. I had enough to pay like a couple weeks rent, started working as soon as I could, and then just lived paycheck to paycheck. I managed to save a bit, which is how I'm able to live at this place. I managed to save like, I don't know, I probably have enough money to maybe live here for a month and a half before I have to find a job. I should probably find one sooner than that, but it would be cool if I could just work on YouTube full time. Unfortunately, I'm just not there yet, you know. I'm gonna have to get some shitty, mild job, you know, working a cashier or a restaurant or something like that for the time being, but I definitely want to make this my primary focus. If you guys happen to be like the heirs of millionaires or something like that, feel free to donate to my Patreon. Otherwise, I love you guys just for watching my videos. Just tell your friends and subscribe. Alright, next question. Alright, this one I had to dig a little deep for. I didn't get a lot of questions, so I kind of went back through the library of comments that I've had in the past, and I just pulled this one out. Leon066. Wow, amazing video, and your voice is damn near perfect. Almost indistinguishable from David Hayter himself. Thank you very much for the sweet words, Leon. David Hayter is one of a kind. When he didn't make it back from Metal Gear Solid 5, I was really disappointed to see him get switched up for 24-star Kiefer Sutherland. I don't know what's going on through Hideo's head. He seems to want to only hire celebrities now, but that's not what video games are about. That's what TV's about. I think one thing that I really like is when they hire new people who aren't well known. That way I can distinguish the character. I look at that person first and I think of the character. I don't think of the celebrity. Like if Tom Cruise was in a video game or something like that, I would see him as Tom Cruise. He wouldn't be Sergeant Jack Johnson or whatever his name would be. I really appreciated when they take characters like in the Silent Hill 2. Like those were all actors and they just kind of like modeled their face, and that made them look more like the characters in the game versus, you know, like say Norman Reedus in Silent Hills. I'm not saying that would have been bad. I was looking forward to it like everyone else. I'm actually a huge fan of Silent Hill. But yeah, the David Hayter voice in that video, I feel like I actually got sick twice while filming that. I feel like a lot of the lines weren't delivered properly. Even with my latest video where I play Virgil, some of them are very nasal and it actually sounds like Virgil, but other parts I just sound like an angry guy. You know, Dante, only I can obtain true power. That's what some of the voices sounded like, and other ones I'm just like, rah, rah, rah. As for David Hayter, yeah, a lot of the times I just sounded like a grungy guy. I mean, I can do the voice. It sounds even better when I have good audio equipment, but I only have what I have to deal with. So here's a little something for you, Leon. Hey, Leon66. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Next question. This one's from Subarachi. Good to know what you've been up to, and that body, good for a cosplay, especially JoJo. Yeah, every year when I do the lifeguarding, I get pretty much in shape. You know, I get a little ripped. And it has crossed my mind to do a JoJo parody or do a JoJo video, but I haven't been able to think of anything really good. So until then, I'm just gonna, you know, continue eating pizza and stuff until I come up with something good. Then I'll train really hard, get that JoJo form back, and make you guys a JoJo video. Next question. This is another one from Subarachi. I am an Arabian and going to meet you one day, maybe first time meeting an Arabian guy. And good to see you back. This was on my trip video where I talked about my trip doing certain conventions and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, I would love to one day be able to partake in like a convention or something where I'm not working there, I'm actually like a guest. That would be super cool, but I still feel like I'm a long way off from that. And Subarachi, I'm sorry, I've actually met tons of Arabics in my life. I actually went to high school with 2 Arabic twins. They were really cool girls, and then the grade above us, their brothers were also twins, so I've met 4 in high school, but my whole life I was always exposed to different people living in Canada. I can honestly not think of a race that I haven't met yet. Nonetheless, I'll meet you too one day, bud. Just give it a few more years until I get invited to VidCon. Next question's coming in from Old Blind Man is Super Good. That's a name. Hey man, this is fucking awesome. I hope you make more stuff like this. I spread this where I can. Well, thank you very much, dude. This is coming from my DMC neon sign video. That one has been really popular. That one is still, you know, getting views up to this day. Other videos I make, you know, I put them out and then they kind of die pretty quickly. But as far as I know, I'm the only one that makes a DMC neon sign. So a lot of people go to that when they want to see how to make it. I'm still trying to figure out how to make Dante's like shop sign. It looks pretty tough. I have an idea of how it's done. I'm not 100% sure though, so I haven't really attempted it, nor do I have the supplies to do so right now. But it's definitely something I'm looking into doing. And thank you very much for spreading it around. Again, guys, if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Help a Tobro out, huh? Next question is from Bill K. Hades. You're a goddamn idiot. Alright, so let's get something straight. That comment was from my Capcom is ruining their video games. And all I was trying to say in that is that the commercial gave away too much. Now that I've played the game thoroughly, I do feel like it gave away too much. I really think it would have been good if they had just, you know, maybe held back on the Virgil stuff. I definitely feel like we knew Virgil was going to be in it. I didn't think it was necessary to put him in the trailer the way they did. We already knew he was going to be there. It would have been kind of fun to see that he just shows up halfway through the thing. Kind of like in Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, if the commercial literally had Darth Vader say, "Luke, I am your father," that would have kind of, you know, ruined that twist. Not that it was a twist in this, but I think it would have done a lot more for the entertainment factor. I mean, when I played the actual game, it played out like it was actually a movie. When you start the game, Nero's missing an arm, he's just bandaged up, and it's like, where's his arm? And we go on forward, and Dante gets beat up along with Trish and Lady. Wow, okay, like the stakes are constantly being raised. It wasn't, they didn't start with Nero with an arm and then a flashback or something like that. The flashback came later on in the video, and I really appreciate them taking that cinematic way of making the video game. It really gave it more of a value to me. So the fact that the trailer had Virgil in it as promptly as it did kind of like busted it up. If you look back a few years ago and you see the Terminator Salvation trailer, where they revealed that that guy was a robot right off the bat. A lot of people didn't like that. They thought it would have been a better surprise if they had just put that in the movie and kept that out of the trailer, so it would have been, you know, like, oh shit, he's actually a robot. That would have been cool. But that was all I was really trying to say. Another thing is the Virgil coat. I know a lot of you guys would fight me on this, but it's not exactly the same, but it's pretty much the same jacket as he's worn throughout his entire time in the DMC series. Maybe they could have done something a little cooler than just the same kind of gothic looking thing. I know that Dante's had a red jacket, but it's always been a different jacket. My favorite jacket, ironically, being the one from DMC 2, which was the most mixed up one. I do like the one in 5 though, because that was easy for me to cosplay. Next question comes from Shitsu Wolf Hawajima. If you could remake a bad game with cool ideas, which would it be? Well, here's the thing. I've never really bought in a video game unless I knew it was good, just based purely on the fact that I can't afford all the video games, so I've never really played a bad video game. Prior to filming this, I actually thought about it a lot, and then, like, even on the N64, like, I only had the good games. Mario 64, Star Fox 64, Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. I only had good games, and I didn't have many. So all the games that I played to death out of them, you know. Even the GameCube era, I really enjoyed Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes on the GameCube. I thought it was pretty good. I know a lot of people don't like it because the cinematics were too hokey. That's an old person word. But actually that game was the first experience I had with Metal Gear Solid, so for me, I really liked it. In terms of a bad video game that I would remake, I can't think of any, but in terms of a video game that I would like to see remade is the Legacy of Kain series, the original one on PlayStation. It was done in a bird's eye view 2D kind of thing. I think that would really benefit from today's technology. I loved both Legacy of Kain series, both Blood Omen and Soul Reaver. It's a shame that New Dawn or Blood Dawn or whatever, the Dead Sun? I think it was called Dead Sun. It's a shame that that one got cancelled, but I really enjoyed those games. The dialogue is very Shakespearean. The fighting and the combat in that wasn't bad, but the first one is the only one that's made like that. I would really like to see that one in a 3D environment. With the capabilities that they have nowadays, I think that game could really thrive. Especially given that it was a huge world like that, I think an open world version of Nosgoth would be absolutely sick. I hope that answered your question, dude. Alright, next up we have a question from my man, Kaz Mitchell. My question is, what's your favorite Resident Evil game, and what's your favorite Resident Evil character? I don't think it's up for debate. My favorite Resident Evil character is Leon, hands down. He's just the most badass dude. I've seen all the Resident Evil movies, and I'm not talking about the Paul W.S. Anderson movies. I'm talking about the ones that Capcom released that are CG. Leon is a total badass in all of those. The first one I remember was a little weird with its animation, but the second one, Resident Evil Damnation, he was like super sexy and he was doing like all these backflips and stuff. He was really cool in that one, and then the most recent one, Vendetta, I actually thought Chris was really cool in that as well, but like Leon is still a motherfucking badass. I don't know if you guys heard that truck. As for my favorite Resident Evil game, well, I've played almost all of them. I think the only one I haven't played is Dead Aim, or the ones on the Game Boy. But in terms of scariest, I think the Resident Evil GameCube remake is the scariest and best in that regard. I shit myself when I was playing that. I was still very young when the GameCube came out, so that was a fun time. I mean, a lot of people go for Resident Evil 4 as their favorite, and I really did like it. The thing is, I really like Resident Evil 5. I think Resident Evil 5 is a very good game. It's a step up from Resident Evil 4 in terms of mechanics. They have the stomp button instead of like crouching down. Well, you can't even crouch in that game. Instead of looking down and using your knife constantly, I think the stomp was really cool. I actually still play Mercenaries mode in Resident Evil 5. I think it's every now and then when I'm playing video games and like I get tired of Apex Legends or something, I'll still play Resident Evil 5. I've S-ranked every level with every character. That being said, my favorite Mercenaries mode is Resident Evil 6 because of how mobile the character is. You can literally do anything, run, flip, If you're Leon, you could dual wield guns. The reason I don't play Resident Evil 6 Mercenaries anymore is because the people who play it now, it's all about the high score, and there's some weird glitch called the grenade glitch. As the grenade goes off, you stomp on an opponent, and it gets you like a ton of points. I've tried to do it a bunch of times, I can't do it. I want to play the game so I can shoot lots of zombies, and I just can't do it. Also, I should mention that I play Resident Evil 6 Mercenaries mode on No Mercy. Unlike Resident Evil 5's mode, I can't play No Mercy. I think I beat it once with Chris's turret gun, and I've not been able to beat it again since. It's just too overwhelming. I hope that answers your question. Next question. Another question by Shih Tzu Wolf Hawajima. Boxers or briefs? Well, in my lifetime, I've worn both. Growing up in high school, it was boxers, which became lame, so I switched to briefs. And just recently, well, when you're lifeguarding on beach patrol, you're just wearing your bathing suit, so you kind of like free down there, if you know what I mean. And it just so happens I was watching an episode of Seinfeld where Kramer's wondering why his count, if you get what I'm saying, I don't know if you can really say jizz on YouTube, where his count is low, and they come to the conclusion that it's because he wears briefs. I actually went and Googled that and found out that it's true. So as of late, I've been going commando, guys, and it feels great. This question comes from Paul Eskew. How are you going to last the winter without poutine? And to follow up, that aloha sign is badass. What was the inspiration for it? Well, Paul, how am I going to survive without poutine? It's not going to be easy. For those of you who don't know, poutine is a Canadian delicacy made of fries, cheese curds, and gravy. It's absolutely delicious, and every time I go to a restaurant, that's usually my go-to because I kind of want to try every poutine that there is out there. I really like the different variations on the gravy. I like a thicker, darker gravy. How am I going to survive without it? Well, I've managed to make my own in Jersey while I've been out here. Maybe in the future I'll make a video about how to make Canadian poutine for Americans. That is yet to be seen. And part 2 of that question, the aloha sign, actually comes from an anime called Space Dandy, made by the creators of Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo. The aloha oi itself is actually the name of the spaceship that they ride, and the aloha Hawaiian girl is actually on the side of the spaceship. It's just like a decal, but I thought it was so cool I had to make it, especially for the summer. Another question by Kaz Mitchell. Bonus question. What's your favorite Kaz and Tobromancer Plays series so far? My favorite episode in the series is... I mean, they're all really good. You should definitely check them out. And subscribe to my boy Kaz Mitchell. My favorite episode, though, would have to be Devil May Cry 4, Part 2. And there's just like a whole segment. We talk about a variety of things. I just kind of like rant. I'll like be drinking coffee while I talk to him, and I just go off on these tangents. Thank you, Kaz, so much for cutting out all the stupid shit that I say. But there's one part where I go on a rant, and we're just talking about like OnlyFans and like e-girls in general who just play Twitch and just make a ton of money. And I get pretty deep into it.
I'm constantly getting emails from Patreon as if I'm fucking making any money off of them.
Bruh, like, it messes with me too. Like, I'll check my email, I'll see from Patreon, like, oh, did I get a Patreon?
Yeah,
it's some automated message, I'm like, bruh. And I think
so
there's
I'm reading
something
the email that they're gonna start applying taxes to our patrons.
Why? Why? Well, at least you can tax $0. Let's go, gang. Can't tax Z. Please donate to my Patreon, please.
I don't know. I cut that shit out for now. As long as we're in a pandemic, I feel like everyone supports me.
Man, I still see people buying OnlyFans content. I'm about to plug the shit out of my Patreon.
What? You're absolutely
I am about to plug the shit out of my Patreon, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
support what I'm doing real quick. If you could buy Big Bertha, Big Booty, clapping 64, you could at least give me $1 a month. I mean, hey, you know, you support what you like, you know. You support what you damn it.
No.
Support what you like. You like big TT streamer, yes?
Yeah, like I do. But I also have this great thing called Pornhub. I fucking made 30 videos on my channel. I put hours into fucking making some of those videos. Like my Metal Gear Solid video that I made,
Yeah.
not the Christmas one, the Christmas
Yeah.
special.
Yeah.
Almost a fucking month to make that video.
Yeah.
On the side, I was going to work. I literally like would get like 5 hours of sleep every
Yeet.
fucking day so I could work on that video. And like, you know, I got sick twice while making that video.
Huh, I
It
did
doesn't
not
even
know
have
that.
100 views. I don't have fucking 500 subs. She can go fuck herself. If I knew that all I needed was a great pair of tits and a fucking will to play video games online, like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Oh my god.
I know you concentrate on this, but I'd like your support in this hard time.
Oh no, well, yeah, I understand.
Alright guys, so that was my Ask Me Anything. Thank you so much for submitting your questions, and thank you even more for your support. You guys have been absolutely wonderful. I love to read all your comments, and I do read all the comments. I really don't get that many. If you like my videos, please leave me a comment because I love to read that stuff. And for those of you who are watching this video and are not yet subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Every sub that I get makes me more popular in the eyes of YouTube, and I can get my videos more expanded throughout YouTube. I'm trying to do once a week video as of right now. That may change depending on if, you know, like I get a job that takes a lot of my time away. But as of right now, I love making videos, and, you know, I would love to focus all my time into this. But until then, if you like this video, comment down below and let me know what you'd like to see me do next. Otherwise, I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.